Hey everybody! Hey! Dylan Distraction here, coming to you live from Batlantic Studios, Split Decision Comics headquarters. Just in case you were wondering, I am doing Facebook Live and Kickstarter Live. And it's Ask Me Anything Saturday. So, please, ask me anything either here on Facebook Live or over here on Kickstarter Live. I'll be able to answer any of your questions. If you want to know about Kickstarter, if you want to know about being an indie comic creator, if you want to know what my favorite food is or what my favorite color is, or how I get my hair to look the way it does, so shiny and gray. So yeah, please. This is a little disorienting having two cameras going at once, but I think we're going to make it rad. So, yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please, if you can hear me, let me know in the comments below. Go to warhoododyssey.com if you want to see the Kickstarter live. And, of course, here I am on facebook.com/Dylan Andrews. So, yeah, either way, and I'm also doing an Ask Me Anything. I have some questions coming in from people. So I will be able to answer those questions live as we do this live. So, yeah, update on the Kickstarter. We have hit goal. Thank you to everyone that has backed the project. Thank you to everyone that has shared the project. Thank you to everybody that's supporting me as a comic book creator. It's so gratifying and rewarding and thrilling to have hit goal. I mean, it's so shocking and wonderful and exciting and thrilling, and I'm so grateful and so appreciative to everyone that is backing and watching me now do this Ask Me Anything. I really, really, really appreciate it. So yeah, the goal is hit. The project is happening. We're funded. It's gonna happen. Now, what's next, you say? Well, geez, that's a good question. That's your first Ask Me Anything. What's next? What is next is that we get to stretch goals. And that's what the push is now. I have a few stretch goals that are currently listed. So if you go to warhoododyssey.com right now, you'll be able to see those stretch goals I have available. And yeah, 5,000 is where I want to be next. That's the next goal. So if you have pledged, thank you so much. If you know anyone that you think might want to pledge, please share warhoododyssey.com with them and let them know that we still have time left on the clock and we need to try to get to 5,000. And yeah, if you have backed, thank you so much. It means the world to me. And the product I'm going to create is going to be awesome. You're going to be so excited, so thrilled to receive it. It's going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen. So if you have any questions, ask away. I am here. Tell us about the $5,000 stretch goal. Well, Mr. Ben Bishop, in the other room here at the Split Decision Comics crew headquarters. Yeah, the current, I can bring it up. The current $3,000 goal is to pay for printing and distribution. And that's awesome. That's a big achievement, incredibly important to hit that. But what do we get when we go past that? I want to be able to exceed that. I want to be able to get to the 3,500, which is logo stickers. 4,000 is bumper stickers. 4,500 is bookmarks, which are pretty rad. And 5,000, which is the goal we want to get to, which is what we're going to be pushing for now, is to rework old pages. I have developed as an artist, I've improved as an inker. I want to be able to really rework those older pages and have them be consistent with the newer pages. So that's really what I'm going for right now. And thank you so much to the 75 backers that have gotten us over the $3,000 goal. The project is happening. Now we have to push for the next 27 days to get as much as we can so that we can get those additional stretch goals and the additional page content. I want to add sketchbook pages in the back. I want to add reworked older pages. There's a lot that I want to accomplish, and the way that we accomplish that is by generating more funding through Kickstarter. So going to warhoododyssey.com. That's the way to do it. All right, what am I looking at? Paige, where did you get the idea inspiration for the Warhood comic? Oh, it's actually I love 90s Chromium Age over-the-top action comics. That's what I grew up reading, so that's what I wanted to create. And the thing is that Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey is always kind of the format. I think the most heroic stories work best in. That is kind of the traditional way that you would organize how you would have heroes having to get from point A to point B, and the things that they would have to overcome and the struggles. But really had a lot to do with tyranny and fascism and refugees and these kind of heavier themes that I wanted to write about, and were really on the top of my mind at the time that I started working on this project. And they have become even more apparent and more important as I've worked on the comic. And people might not understand fully or grasp that I'm trying to work through these larger thematic issues about society and culture and tyranny and fascism and 1980, George Orwellian 1984. But yeah, those are things that are on my mind, and those are things that I am working on as I create this comic series. So yes, thanks so much, Paige, and thanks so much for backing. That's my sister. She's a wonderful person, and thanks so much for watching. And of course, there's zombies in action, and it's the craziest thing you've ever read. There's a lot of that sort of over the top '90s action comic stuff, which I love and I am enthralled with. But I wanted there to be something more than just, it's a bunch of people fighting. That's a part of it, sure, but the idea of this tyrannical government and what happens when we who are refugees, how would these people survive in this horrible world, and this magical totem that would enable people to be able to be powerful or be able to fight against this evils, or what is evil. All of these sort of themes and stuff are things that I work through with my content, with my comic books, but it's wrapped up in a very easy to digest, over the top '90s Chromium Age action comic. So I try to have that balance. So that's kind of the answer to that. Am I about to draw anything right now? Yes, I am. I should be drawing right now. I have a lot to draw. Yeah, I definitely should be drawing. I will be drawing. I could do a little live drawing, but I kind of have the camera set up to speak directly to you. So if you have any questions, please ask away. If you want to know about Kickstarter, if you want to know about WarhoodOdyssey.com, which is currently at goal. We've exceeded goal. I have 76 backers. Thank you so much to the backer that just came on. Yeah, I need to keep pushing to get to these stretch goals. We're almost to the next stretch goal being unlocked. If we could get to that stretch goal being unlocked today, that would be awesome. I really want to hit that stretch goal, and I really want to get to the $5,000 stretch goal, because that's when I can go back through and rework older content. Yeah, and that's really, really the main goal here. So yeah, what's your fave over-the-top action comic? I love Savage Dragon. If you know me, you know I love Savage Dragon. It's one of those comic series that I got into as a kid, and it just blew my mind that this long-running series Eric Larson at this point is my idol. He can write and draw whatever he wants, and it's just so inspiring to see someone that's able to just be like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. I'm going to create this content, and some people probably don't respond to it. Some people probably it's not their thing. It's not something that they're looking for. But for me, it's like just so inspirational, so exciting to be like, yeah, who knows what's going to happen next? He's just kept going, and that I think is so important in the genre of comics, that creative teams don't jump off and on titles. That you see an artist writer who is able to just take a theme and just keep going. And it might be difficult for new readers to jump on issue 250, but you can. It's possible to do. And I think that's the thing with major publishers, is they're like, geez, we can't have people jumping off and on with, you have to have story arcs. Everybody wants to get in on issue 1 and wants to end on issue 6, and we collect it in a trade and then start over. But with Savage Dragon, he didn't do that. He's like, no, I'm just going to keep going. And I think that's incredible. That's so, yeah. All right. So that's the answer to that. Savage Dragon currently probably the comic series that's inspired me the most. But there's a lot of them. Those Image Revolution guys, Mark Silvestri, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, Eric Larson. That's what I grew up reading, so that's what I'm trying to create. So, all right, let's see. Any more questions? All right. How do you start drawing? Just start drawing. Just start. Get a piece of paper and a pencil and start drawing. That's really the advice I can give you. You can get copy paper, like in those sheets, like hundreds of sheets of copy paper. Just go. Just start on the first one, and it's going to be the best you can do. And then draw on every single page. Draw on both sides of every single page if you have to. You'll find that by the end of that ream of copy paper, the drawings at the end will be better than the drawings at the beginning. And then you start over, get another ream of copy paper. And if you draw, that's cheap. Pencils, paper are not expensive. You don't need to start digitally. You might get to that point where you think, digital is where I'm most comfortable, but the upfront costs for learning how to create, very inexpensive. Next question. Ryan, I have seen parts of John Carpenter's The Thing, Ryan, but I don't remember it. I know that there's creatures in it. Is that the one with the puppets? There's a lot of puppets, right? Evil puppets, I think. Maybe some goo. I think there's goo. There's snow. I know that they're in the snow. Maybe, I don't know. Is there a dinosaur? Maybe that's a different movie. They build a park, right? And they clone dinosaurs? I don't know. I'll watch it with you. Come on over, buddy. I'm here. Yeah. Joey, any other project coming out this year? Oh, Joey, that's a good question. And I've always got something going on. And maybe there's other projects coming up. Maybe I'm writing other things. Maybe I'm working with other creators. But right now, WarhoodOdyssey.com is my main and only focus. That is what I want to put all my energy into. That's going to be the next couple of months, working hard, making awesome stuff, and getting it to all of the 76 backers that have gotten us over goal and close to the next stretch goal. So if you haven't gone to WarhoodOdyssey.com, check it out. I'm live on there also. You can ask questions there too. Try it. See if it works. I don't know. I haven't got any questions on Kickstarter Live. But, oh wait, I just got one. What advice can you give to someone launching their first Kickstarter? That's a good question. Keep your goal low. Your first Kickstarter is just to prove that you can do it. I wouldn't try to shoot for the moon as an independent creator on your first Kickstarter. Realize that your first Kickstarter is to learn how to use Kickstarter and how to produce content and distribute it to readers, to backers. The worst thing you could do is to have a huge goal with a ton of add-ons and really stretch yourself very, very thin, bring on collaborators, and then not produce. Either come short of goal, which is okay. If you don't hit goal, that's probably better than hitting this massive goal and completely ruining any credibility you have to be able to fulfill. Because fulfillment is as big or a bigger part of the process than the Kickstarter campaign. And I think a lot of first-time Kickstarter creators might not realize that. So my advice, you can do print on demand for a comic book, which if you have a $500 goal, you could hit that, make a comic, get it printed on demand. Print on demand, there's no minimum, or maybe a very small minimum print run, and then distribute that and have 10, 15, 20 people that now have your book and are excited about what you're doing and would support you on the next Kickstarter. Because you could do like maybe 3 campaigns a year without really over. Thank you, Ben, for all the thumbs up. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see if I got any other questions. I hope I answered your question. Thank you for that question. That's a great question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of your is based on? Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of your female character is based on Joseph Schmalke? 20. More than 10. As many as there is. Okay. I'm not good at. No. Joe is a good friend of mine, but I don't base any of my characters on him. Ben, you're killing me. I choked on my tea. That was a good question. Please feel free to ask any other silly questions. In your IF anthology. Oh, no. People want to know. Thought about working with a colorist. Yeah, actually, I've been talking to a few. The thing about, I love black and white comics. I love Walking Dead. I love that sort of zine, indie sort of grind, that gritty sort of black and white noir look. Sin City is I'm a huge fan of that. But yeah, eventually working with a colorist. I've colored my own work and I do enjoy the process, but it's time consuming to color my own work and it increases printing costs pretty substantially. So $5,000 goal will be cutting it close. So I can keep costs down and get you the product more quickly without color. But maybe down the road, do an omnibus. I don't know. Jason, yes, I like Batman. Of course, come on. Mr. Lynch. Hope you were able to survive the snow bomb blizzard event of 2018. I saw the video of you with your dog. Very adorable. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. All right. I'm on Kickstarter and doing a Kickstarter live. And I'm also on Facebook. So Kickstarter live and Facebook live. So go to warhoododyssey.com if you're on Facebook and you want to see me on Kickstarter. And if you're on Kickstarter, ask a question. I want to see if this thing's working. I want to make sure you can hear me. So ask me anything, AMA. All right. Ryan, best book Rob Liefeld has worked on, in your opinion. Have you seen the hardcover edition version of Youngblood? It is good. It's great. It has the nostalgia of the original Youngblood series, but he worked with a writer, and the writer he edited the dialogue and the format, so it's a different story, which is fascinating to me. It's like, wow, that's so interesting that you could take that original Rob Liefeld Youngblood content, Image Comics 92, 91 Youngblood content, repackage it, reformat it, recolor it, and it feels fresh. It feels like a modern version of that story, and it's more readable. I was like, oh, this is great. What a cool idea. So yeah, Ryan, check out the Youngblood hardcover. I recommend it. But, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Some people are not thrilled with Rob Liefeld and don't appreciate what he's done or his work, and I do. I met him at the Boston Comic Con, and he was very nice and very engaging, and he's a super comic fan. So you might not love what he produces, but you gotta respect the dude's work ethic. He's produced some incredible stuff. He was there. I mean, we were all looking back at this time like, wow, what an incredible time for publishing and for comics. But he did it. I mean, that guy did it. You can't take that away from him. All right. Next question. John, black and white comics, I think there's something special about them, I love Savage Dragon, for example. Savage Dragon, incredible in color, but the black and white archive editions, it's a neat experience. It's a cool sort of experience. And then, of course, that Image Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that Frank Fosco did with Eric Larson doing covers and inks, it's a kind of different sort of vintagey, Mirage Studios kind of feel. And I love that stuff. I grew up on that stuff. And so, back when I was younger, photocopying and stapling comic books, you'd have that sort of black and white gritty sort of feel. So that's kind of what I'm going for. So go to warhoododyssey.com if you want to see where we're at. We're currently holding strong at 76 backers. If you have backed, thank you so much. If you haven't backed, what's wrong with you? Get on it. All the cool kids are doing it. Psh, come on. All right. Ben, if I had to choose between Batman or Sugar, what would you choose? That is a wonderful question. Mr. Ben Bishop from the other room here at the Split Decision Comics Crew headquarters. Man, Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns, Batman. That's a good Batman. And Sugar, just raw sugar? Like just a bag of raw sugar? Or like baked in something? I don't know. Could I have both? I'm going to go with both. Yeah. Sugar is a poison and is horrible, and I shouldn't have it, but I love sugar. I'm addicted to it. What else? Yes, thank you, Ben. WarhoodOdyssey.com. Go there. You can see me doing a Kickstarter live and a Facebook Live, dueling cameras. This is an Ask Me Anything. If you have any questions, you can ask them. Ask about the comic book. Ask about, oh, I get some more questions here on Kickstarter. Can you recommend an on-demand printer? I like RA printing. I've used Kablam and RA. Your results may vary, but I had great success working with RA. Their customer service was phenomenal, and that was really, even if the product was similar between Kablam and RA, I liked RA. I thought that their customer service was great. They're very attentive and very, very helpful. So I chose them. But you might have a different experience. Sugar is awesome. Yes. Sugar is awesome. Why does sugar get such a bad rep? Just because it's poison and it's terrible for you. I think we should all, right now, eat something with sugar in it. Anything, candy. I think we got candy in the other room. I'm going to have nothing. I'm going to not have any sugar until after this. All right, now I'm doing an AMA feed. If you want to ask questions there, you can. But probably if you're on Facebook, you can ask questions. Or on Kickstarter Live, ask away. Those would be the best options. How did you determine what your funding goal was supposed to be? What factors did you take into account? Funding goal is based on printing and distribution. And then stretch goals, and at some point you'd want to be able to compensate your time, because there's a lot of time that goes into this. And so you want to be able to continue to do this, you have to factor in, how could I financially continue to be able to do this? Because materials, time, they're not free. So, the goal for me is based on printing quotes and distribution, mailing. Shipping isn't cheap, and it's not getting any cheaper. So, printing and shipping is your base. That's your minimum for what you'd want to do. So that was the goal that we hit, 3,000. 5,000 is, how can I add additional content? How can I improve previous content? And how can I get it to people as quickly and efficiently as possible? So if you want to help us get to the stretch goals, go to warhoadodyssey.com right now. What amount of man hours did you dedicate to completing the series of the comic collection? That's tough to gauge. It's tough to gauge how many actual hours. It's more like a lifetime of learning. So what do they say, like 10,000 hours to become proficient at something? So I've been drawing for my entire life, as young as I can remember drawing when I was very, very young, reading comics when I was very, very young. Like Frank Miller's Wolverine was probably one of the first ones I remember physically buying. And so those stories and storytelling, that's always been a part of what I've done. And so, going to school for graphic design, taking illustration classes, always trying to learn and improve as a creator. So, I'd say probably just a lifetime of learning. How important is it for you to fulfill your childhood dreams of creating comics? Very important. I think everybody should have something that they feel like they were meant to be doing. And I feel like creating, storytelling, drawing, publishing, graphic design, that's what I'm meant to be doing. And I'm so grateful and happy, and I feel so fortunate that I've found people that want to support that and are receptive and appreciative of that. I mean, I do it even if nobody was watching. I have been, but it's great to be able to find people that want to support it so I can continue to do it, so I don't have to do something else. If the campaign is successful, how ready are you to continue with the mass production? It's successful. We've hit goal. It's happening. It's literally happening. And a lot of it has been created. The previous issues are done. But for 5,000, I want to get to the $5,000 stretch goal so I can go back through and rework some of the older content. We're there. But we're not done yet. Go to warhoadodyssey.com. What should parents do to support the inherent talent of drawing in their kids? Paper and pencil. Get a ream of copy paper. Get some pencils, have it available. If kids want to draw, they want to create, they will. Because video games are enticing. I get it. And video games are a time suck. Jason Lynch, video games are great. But if you want to be a creative, if you want to create your own, content, paper and pencil, that's where you start. What steps did you take to get past any hesitancy or fears you had of starting and actually begin to work on comics? Yeah, I think that there is that sort of people are nervous initially, probably, to show their work or to have an expression of creativity. It can be kind of scary, I guess, if you see other people's work and you compare your work to theirs. Don't do that. Just draw every day. That's what I've done. Just draw every day. My first stuff, the early stuff, it's the best you can do at the time, and the stuff you do tomorrow will be better, and that's great. That's progress. That's improving. That's how you get confident with your stuff. But you're always going to be your own worst critic, I would think, because if you're comfortable, you're not pushing yourself. So that's that answer. If you have any questions, post them below. Like, thumbs up, share this video on Kickstarter Live, or Facebook Live, or this AMA feed thing I'm doing here. So warhoodOdyssey.com. Let me know if you have any questions. Because, I got so many answers. Okay, how did you balance telling stories you want to read versus stories you think others will want to read? I don't pretend to know what other people want. I think that is probably the truest way I can say that. I don't know what other people want. All I know is what I'm passionate about and what I want to talk about or what I want to create. And then the trick is finding people that respond to that and appreciate what you're doing and want to support it. I can't try to create something for someone. It would be disingenuous, and I wouldn't be passionate about it. It's like, and I think that some people might worry about that or fall into that sort of trap where they're like, oh, Jesus has to be marketable. What can I create that someone will like? I don't know what people like, and I know what I like, and what I like is what I want to create. And the trick is finding those people that want to support that. So I think that's the best way to put it. Think about when Superman was created. They're like, oh, that's never going to work. Then that redefined the genre, right? So this idea of coming up with something that you want to speak about, which Superman was about empowerment, being downtrodden and wanting to feel empowered. And what do you know? People connected with it. So it redefined comic books. Which method of free takeaway? This is a very specific question. Thank you so much for this very specific question. I'm going to answer this very specific question. Which method of free takeaway is most cost-effective and has the best result for you at conventions for increasing your following? Business cards, postcard prints, free comics, QR codes to read excerpts, or some other method? This is a specific convention question. I can do my best to answer this. Business cards are a great, cheap way to be able to get something in their hand, something for someone that's just walking by casually. But conventions, I don't think you should give away free things. It's not free to get there. It's not free to get in most cases. It's not free for a table. It's not free to produce any of the product that you have. The only thing I would say is if you wanted to do an exchange, you could do an email for a digital download. That's really, if they say, what do you have? I say, hey, write down your email on my email list. I'll send you free content. But giving away stuff, if they are in there and they like your work and they want to support your work, they should skip the Starbucks, buy a comic, I think. I mean, really, why else are you at a convention? Just to walk around? You should be there to support creators, in my opinion. So that's my opinion about that. All right. When you're jotting down ideas for your plot, characters, and themes, what are your notation strategies and how do you manage those notes? Just pencil and paper and sketchbooks. I do a lot of my notation and character design in sketchbooks. That's what works for me. It's not a very easy system. If I am like, oh, where did that note go? I got to look for it. I'm sure digitally I could organize that content better. That's not only a good question, that's a question I should have asked myself. How do I organize my content better so I can find it? What is the most difficult part of creating comic books? Is it the drawing or the storytelling? I enjoy both. I don't feel as though either is difficult. Drawing is challenging. Writing can be challenging. But yeah, I enjoy it, and I think that either can be difficult if you let it be, but it's always best to see it as a challenge and not as a problem or a difficulty. Okay. Go to warhoadodyssey.com and back. We are at, I think we're holding strong at 76 backers. Thank you all so much for your time and attention. Thank you for watching this. Ask me anything. Please feel free to ask me anything. Ben, what is my favorite thing to draw? I like drawing Batman. I do. I like drawing Batman. I think he's got a great silhouette. It's iconic. People have drawn him for years, and yet I'm always incredibly captivated by how you can see a new interpretation of him. Jock, for instance. Jock creates Batman, and you're like, that's completely different than Jim Lee's Batman, which is completely different than Dave Finch's Batman, which is completely different than Mark Silvestri's Batman, which is completely different than Ben Bishop's Batman, which is completely different than my Batman. And I've drawn him hundreds of times, and yet I always feel like that silhouette, that shape, there's always a new interpretation, a new take on it, which I'm always captivated by. All right, even though he's got such a long story career and such a wonderful mythology. I didn't get 100% back on the first date, Jennifer. Thanks for reminding me. I'm not getting tased. No, I shouldn't have probably offered that as an option. But, whatever. People love stunts, you know? I don't. I don't want to get tased. I don't want to tase anyone else. Joe Schmalky wanted to tase me. He was so sad he didn't get to tase me. Like visibly unhappy about it. So, I don't. Thank you for not wanting to watch that. I appreciate that. Who else? Is it possible to buy your comics from your website? We have an international shipping option. I'm sorry that it is rather expensive to ship internationally. It's just how it is. And so there's digital download, the digital version, warhoadodyssey.com. You can get the digital version. That goes anywhere in the world. But if you want a physical copy, you have to choose the international shipping option. And it's not cheap because shipping that's a necessary part of the process. How long do you estimate it takes to pencil and ink a typical page? That's a great question. It's about a day. You want to try to get to the point where you could pencil and ink a page a day. That's a pretty standard time frame. If you think an issue is about 22 pages, you got about an issue a month, theoretically. And sometimes those responsibilities of penciling and inking are broken down between multiple people to try to improve the workflow. But if you could pencil and ink a page a day yourself, that's where you want to be. But the trick is, I could do a pencil and ink a page a day. The problem is doing a penciling and inking a page a day that you're thrilled with the outcome, right? You want to have that page be like, wow, that's the best thing I could do today. Tomorrow I'll do something better. That's always the trick. If at the end of the day you're like, I did it, I got through it, but it's not what I wanted it to be, that's always aggravating. If you have to tear up and start over, that kind of cuts into your production cycle. Because it's all deadline oriented. I mean, being in publishing for years, it's all about deadlines. So, if you haven't gone to warhoadodyssey.com, you should, because it's awesome. And I'm live on there now and live on Facebook doing an Ask Me Anything. So if you have any questions that you want to know about, please ask away. And I'll be on here for a little bit longer. And if you don't have any questions, that's fine. I've got work to do, and I could get back to doing work. Jennifer, the tiara and the tasing. I know, it's weird. It was so specific. Schmalky is like, he's into it. I appreciate that about him. I appreciate his enthusiasm. All right. Stretch goals. 3,500, we get the logo sticker. 4,000, we get the bumper sticker. 4,500, we get the bookmarks, which is pretty dope. And 5,000, which is where we want to be, which is what we're going for now. New, revised, expanded, incredible, amazing content. More amazinger content. So We want to get to $5,000. That's the goal. So if you have backed, thank you so much. Tell anyone else you think might be interested about warhotodyssey.com. Let's try to get to $5,000 this weekend. That would be amazing. That would be incredible, because once we get to that, we'll keep going. But right now, that's where we want to be. So I think I've asked all the questions that people have. John, thank you, John. It's been fun to be able to share the process with everyone, and I really appreciate that there are people that are so supportive, like yourself, that like what I'm doing and want to see me continue to do it. That's why I'm making comics. It's been a crazy 2017, and 2018 is shaping up to be just as crazy. So yeah, I'm really, really appreciative and grateful and thankful that I've found people that like what I'm doing and want to continue to support it. Yeah, it means so much to me. And I know I say that, but it's true. It's true. Ryan, I have to pre-read your questions so to make sure that they're appropriate. Let me pre-read this. No, Ryan, I am not related to Kyle Andrews. He is an incredible talent. If you haven't seen Kare's work on Iron Fist or Renato Jones' The 1%, what is wrong with you? The artist edition of that is amazing. And his painted covers, incredible. That guy, he's Canadian, I think. I believe he is. Kare, if you're watching live now, please comment below. Yeah, his stuff is so wonderful. Everyone should check out what he's been doing. That Renato Jones 1% is just mind-blowing. And I think he's completely digital now. He used to do painted covers. I think he still does painted covers, like Star Wars covers, but it's completely digital workflow. If you look at his artist edition of the Renato Jones 1%, the oversized artist edition, yeah, he talks about how he does his breakdowns, finishes, inks, colors, writes the whole thing. He is an inspiration. That guy, yeah, I mean, just the storytelling he's done, so good. He's, yeah, fascinating artist and storyteller. Yes, Jennifer, that was a good question, Ryan. Please, Ryan, feel free to ask any more questions, but I will be pre-reading Ryan Wing's questions to make sure he doesn't say anything naughty in them. All right, let's see if I have any more questions over on Kickstarter. Have I ever worked with screen tones? Ooh, no. But I know people that have, and they love them. There are different sort of screen tones that you can use traditionally. Zipatone, and then of course there's that emulsion-based screen tone fluid that works with different sort of papers, specialty paper. Those have kind of fallen out of fashion because they are time-consuming and expensive. Really, digital can do everything screen tones used to do for a fraction of the cost, and are it's an easier way to work. So no, I do digital tones, but I do gradients with ink wash. So it's kind of a tone, but no, Zipatone or screen tones, those would all be done digitally now. I don't do much of them. I should do more. On the iPad Pro, there are a few, you can get different brushes that allow you to do screen tones. Ben, ringtones. That's a good question, Ben. What? No. Huh? What? No. Does that answer? No. Ringtones. Guys are silly. Oh, you're welcome. Louis? I don't know how to pronounce your name. But you're welcome. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm on Kickstarter Live and on Facebook Live. I hope everyone can hear me. I assume you can because you've been asking questions and I've been answering them. Pretty funny if I was just sitting here with my mouth moving and you couldn't hear anything, but nobody told me. What a great practical joke that would be. Jerks. So yeah, go to warhotodyssey.com if you want to see where we're currently at with funding. We've gone over goal, but we've got more to do. We got to get to 5,000. That's the next stretch goal. Let's do it. If you've backed, thank you. I really appreciate it. If you haven't backed, go right now to warhotodyssey.com. Ben, the time now is 1:41. Ben is in the other room. I guess he doesn't have a clock in there. He should. He's on a phone. Your phone should have a clock on it. It's 1:41. I've been on here for
my own time.
I'm Mr. Ben Bishop's personal assistant. Whenever we go to conventions, Ben is he's incredibly talented. He's a rock star comic book creator working on Drawing Blood as we speak in the other room. Phenomenal things happening for Mr. Ben Bishop and Split Decision Comics in 2018. Go to bishart.net after you go to warhotodyssey.com. But whenever we go to conventions, I say I'm Mr. Ben Bishop's personal assistant. And I've also started referring to Ben as my life coach because he is a great life coach. He doesn't necessarily want that role. He doesn't want to be responsible for my decision making, but I run everything past him. I do. I said, geez, Ben, what do you think of this? And he goes, that's a terrible idea. And I say, well, just F you, Ben. I'm going to do it anyway. Take that. That'll show him. Special. No. What? Ringtone. What? So, thank you all so much for watching here on Facebook Live and over here. Louie. Oh, your name's Louie. Oh, cool, man. I couldn't read it. Hi, Louie. Jennifer, I was wondering what the life coach thing was about. Oh, yeah. I told Ben the other day, I said, Ben, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And I'm like, man, you're like my life coach. Yeah. And he's like, I don't want to be that. And I said, tough crap. That's the role you will now be. I don't know. All right. I think I've answered all the questions. I think there were some great questions. Thank you so much for your great questions. I drink a lot of water and a lot of coffee. If you have any other questions, please comment them below. Like, thumbs up, share this video. This has been a lot of fun doing this Ask Me Anything on Facebook Live and on Kickstarter Live. This worked better than I thought. I didn't know if anybody would watch or ask any questions. So the fact that there have been questions and sugar in my coffee is great, Louie. I'm going to go have some because my throat hurts from talking for an hour. 45 minutes. Yeah, I tried to drink coffee black because my life coach, Ben Bishop, said black coffee's the way to go. But it's gross. Ew. warhotodyssey.com. Ben likes black coffee, and I can't get into it. I tried. I don't know why. Sugar makes everything better. Black coffee. I'm trying, but it's gross. So go to bishart.net if you want to see my life coach, Ben Bishop's current work. You can be part of the Bishart Kids Club. We have some exciting new things on the horizon for Split Decision Comics. I won't say too much, but nothing. There's nothing happening. So, go to warhotodyssey.com. Switched over to black coffee. Can't go back to sugar. Joey, black coffee. No. God, I don't want this to just be me saying how much I'm addicted to sugar for the next 10 minutes. But I could do that because sugar's the greatest invention since coffee. It's just so bitter. I don't know. I just love cookies. I just love sugar. I don't know. Everybody gives me a hard time. All right. We're spiraling now, so I'm going to probably wrap this up and have some of that delicious coffee that Ben is drinking in the other room. Thank you, everyone who watched me on Facebook Live and asked me anything. Thank you, everyone who watched me on Kickstarter Live and asked me anything. And thank you to everyone who asked me questions over at AMA Feed. I really appreciate it. This has been wonderful. I've enjoyed talking with all of you and answering all of your questions. So, go to warhotodyssey.com right now. Let's get to 5,000 this weekend so that I can add additional content and revise earlier artwork. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, everyone that's already backed. I'm so appreciative. I'm so thankful. All right. So, if there isn't anything else that you need from me, I am out of here. Please like, thumbs up, share, and comment. All right. See ya.